Mackenzie Smith. How are you?
Good.
Hi,
Okay, so we've
Mackenzie.
got Andrew,
Good.
Mackenzie's here, Jacob, Janelle, Jared's in, Justine, Lacey. Cool.
Jacob's always got the best light. He's got the hair light even. You know.
Hi, Mackenzie. Great to see ya.
Hi, you too.
Good to see everybody. Welcome. All right, well, let's get this party started. So we wanted to go ahead and have a registration Q&A today because, as you all know, we've had a lot of back and forth for the fall, and we were finally able to get, clarity, and the issues were resolved with the international student dilemmas, and everything is, now into place for us to start fall. So it took us a while to get that all situated from all the different levels, but we wanted to share with you our plans for the fall and be here to answer any questions because there will be things that are different, of course. And we also want to let you know that we are super excited as a department, and our vision has been to just simply rise to this occasion instead of saying, oh, we're going to go back to how it used to be. That we as a department have been meeting weekly, and we're like, nope, we're going into this semester utilizing a lot of resources from the industry and how people are operating right now. So instead of doing a lot of cancellations and saying, oh no, we can't do that, we're like, you know what? Actually, we can do that. So let's talk to everybody about what is happening and how we're making some changes and modifications to what we have going on. So Candace asked that any questions go into the chat pod at the end, and if we do need to have a audio conversation, that's totally fine too. So, but if you think of anything, feel free to put some questions in the chat pod. So please keep in mind that things are still subject to change. One thing I like to tell every student who I've been working with on their classes and things like that, or moving back, because many people are wondering like, oh, should I come back to SF? We are reopening our facilities. We're so excited. However, there will be lots of limitations in place. There are lots of procedures that everybody will have to follow to keep everybody safe. And also, we have to follow the regulations of the city of San Francisco. So if anything changes at any point, we will be very much in communication with you all, but just know that we as a school have to be formally following the outlines from the city. And so we have to partner with them very closely on how we reopen our facilities, etc. All right, Edwin, take it away.
So, hello, everyone. We're very happy and excited to see you all, and very happy that we are going to be able to welcome you back to our buildings. I know you have been waiting to go do your photo shoots and get equipment. So we are very happy to announce that we're going to reopen 625 Sutter. It's going to be a little bit different, but we're going to try to make it as easy as possible for you to come back and feel safe in the space. We have made some adjustments. By example, here in the print lab, we reduced the space to 5 students. And that way you can have your private personal space while you're using your printer or your computer. And also we have come up with a plan on checking out the slot you're gonna use inside of the lab up to 3.5 hour sessions. So then you will have that private space just for you and the other 5 people that will be using the lab within that block. So you can be able to check out now your space within the lab in web checkout. That will give you access to have your personal reservation. And this will be the only way you can access the building, only if you have a reservation on web checkout. Then you also obviously will have to do the registration with us and pay your your course fee, and we will not have a 740 Taylor open this semester. It's only gonna be at Sutter. It will be the only access to the labs. And Candace added at the end, there is no walk-ins expected. And this is because the only way you can access to any of the buildings in the academy is with a reservation made 24 hours in advance. Okay, this is for Sutter, yes. And then for the studios, we have limited the amount of studios that were open to make sure that you feel safe in the space. And also we have marked the spaces where you can be safe within the studio. By example, if you will be photographing in Studio 130, we have measured the spaces to be 6 feet away from each other, and we have come out with a number max of students allowed per studio. So by example, in Studio 140, there is only a max capacity of 4 students at the same time. So then that will allow you to be having one model, the photographer, an assistant or digital tech, and you can have a stylist. So then that way you can create your crew of the people that you will need for your photo shoot, and then everyone will have to stay within their marked designed space, so you can have your 6 feet distance from the other students. If you have a larger photo shoot, we are opening the Washington Cove studio space for everyone. So that will allow you to have 6 people max in the space. So if you have a larger crew of people to create a more big, ambitious photo shoot, this will be your space. And then also we're opening the dark rooms as well, with a maximum of 1 person allowed inside of the dark room. You will also have to create a reservation to go to the dark room and also to use the print wash. That will give you very safe space while you are using the dark rooms, not having to encounter in the dark with that, with somebody inside of the dark room. So we just want to make everything as easy and as safe as possible for everyone to feel safe to go use our facilities. And also we're allowing you to check out equipment instead of the 4 days that we used to use before. We're allowing you to check out equipment every 7 days. So if you check out a camera on Monday, you return it until the next Monday, which will be easier to use, so you don't have to come as often as the school, but also will allow you to come back. If the big one that you wanted wasn't available, maybe when you come back, it's available. So it will always give you chances to check out the equipment that you need. So that's how we come up with this. If you are inside of the Bay Area, you're welcome to come and check out equipment. But if you are, by example, living in Texas or in Florida, and you cannot come to San Francisco to pick up equipment, we can ship the equipment to your destination as long as it's inside of the United States, and the student will be responsible to pay for shipping and handling, and we will be able to send you a package of equipment according to the class you're enrolled. If you are outside the United States, unfortunately, we cannot ship equipment outside the United States, but we have come out with a worldwide rental house guide that we'll be sharing with everyone. So then if you're outside the United States, by example, if you're in Brazil or if you're in China or any other country, then you will be able to check on this guide, so then you can rent equipment in any of these rental houses that we have provide for you. And again, there is not gonna be walk-ins inside the building. The only way you can have access to the building is if you have a reservation already made 24 hours in advance. And this is because the campus host will have a list, and they're gonna control the people that get into the building, and the only way you can get access is if you are part of that list. Same thing with your guests. It will have to be within the amount of guests that you have access. It will be the same for private studios. If you have a private studio, you still will have to make your reservation to use your space. This is just to make sure that you are that you have been counted the day before, so you have your reservation already made. And pretty much target a few of the questions here. But we're gonna be open Tuesday through Saturday from 10:15 to 6 p.m. And we have done this schedule to avoid traffic hours in the morning and in the afternoons, to avoid in case you need to take public transportation, so that way you can use then in the less traffic hours. And also if you need to drive to the city, this will allow you like a better schedule to come in. And we are gonna be able to have equipment this time for everyone, since we're gonna be doing the regular checkouts as we have always done, just that there will be 7 days at the time. So then most of the time will be available equipment for everyone. And then for students that are needed long-term checkouts, for example, if you're in another state, that's when we're gonna have kits for the different dining courses that we will be shipping out to you at your own expense. And again, there's not gonna be walk-ins or drop-ins for equipment. This only gonna be, the only way you can have equipment is if you have a reservation with us. So we have a new platform in WatchCheckout that is pretty user-friendly, and it has been updated. So it's very user-friendly on your phone. So you will love that this semester. Cool.
All right.
That was good, Edwin.
Classes that are being offered. Tim?
Okay, this is me. Hey, great to see everybody, and thanks for coming to this meeting. And so, you know, when COVID hit in the spring semester, I think it caught everybody by surprise, and we didn't really know what to do and had to react in the moment. And I think what we're excited about this semester is that we were able to prepare, and we were able to try to reconfigure a number of classes to make it just a little more exciting for you all and a little more successful for the professors as well, in terms of, you know, how we're going to teach these classes. And so, like, a lot of the classes that are involving lighting and the very hands-on classes, and then we're going to get into digital printing as well, what we've come up with is ways to try to reconfigure these so that demos and presentations can be done via Zoom. And we're working on a live stream system that would make these kind of more hands-on presentation aspects of the class very clean, very neat, very able to have a give and take and a back and forth between the students and the instructors. And we've done a little demo, myself and Edwin, trying to work out the details of this last week. And it's really super, and it's better than watching a video. It has that give and take aspect to it. And so we're working on trying to perfect those things for certain classes. And then there's also the, you know, concern of COVID right now. And myself as a commercial photographer, COVID's really changed the way we try to, like, an assignment's done and a way a bigger project is addressed. And in some of the curriculum for these classes, we want to kind of address this changed way that things need to be done now. And so we're hoping to get some of that into the classes as well. And now, you know, it is unfortunate for, like, advanced location lighting and these classes, we can't go out anymore. And so, you know, at least for this semester, we won't be having the, you know, the field trips where we can kind of go out as a group. But what we're hoping to do is try to still keep the classes as informative and educational as possible with the same type of information shared, but we just try to find ways to kind of do that remotely. Let's see the next screen here to see if I had missed anything. But really, we are trying to adapt to what's here to make the most of what we have. You know, and also I think in one of the classes, we're trying to have a number of guest artists come in who have had to kind of pivot their businesses in the COVID era to something that they could actually work on at home and still be commercial photographers. So these are the things we're trying to implement into the curriculum to make it contemporary and to make the most of, you know, what we have right now. Let's see the next slide.
That's it for that one.
Oh, that was it for that. Let me just look at my notes here. Yeah, I think those were the key things, but we can also, you know, we are thinking and trying to work on this all, you know, every day, really. And so we're open to any questions you may have of, you know, how we try to figure this out as well.
Michael.
So we are going to, now with the labs open, we are going to offer PH 197 and 635. It is not going to be the traditional printing class that we have been used to. It's being rewritten to allow students to either print in the lab or own their own printer, and then either drop off the prints at 625 Sutter or mail them in, and then I'll be doing print reviews on campus and then leaving them. These won't be in person as far as meeting with me, but they'll be reviewed and then given back for you to pick up. It will be a little bit different of a process than what we've been used to, but majority of the class will actually be able to be offered, and we'll be utilizing a lot of the live recordings, as well as much more in-depth video tutorials on how to use the school's equipment as well as home equipment. So we're kind of excited and interested in seeing how this works out. But since it is a core class and a lot of people are needing this class, we're slightly better prepared for it now than we were last semester when we had to abruptly switch over to remote learning. So this will be an interim until we can get fully back into the labs and classrooms.
All right, Adrian and Michael again.
We offered PH 499699 undergrad grad mixed class of Capture One in the summer, and it worked out really well. And we're going to offer it again in the fall. So this is a great class as a prerequisite to Edwin's advanced digital capture class, where we focus on Capture One workflow, everything from organizing sessions / catalogs to tethered capture to a very deep dive into raw processing and industry standards on how to use Capture One, both for personal and for professional Digitech use. So it's been a fun class this summer to take, and we're hoping to eventually get it switched over to a full dedicated class rather than running it 499699. But this will be the second class, and it's worked out really well for the summer.
Okay, Adrian.
Yeah, so this summer I taught this amazing PH 488 senior project class with just a super crew. I'm trying to see if anybody's in the room. They produced incredible work this summer, and I changed it at the end of spring. I changed the offerings because I was just thinking we need to have a class that's going to actually work in the virtual environment. And it ended up just being this really amazing moment for students to delve into their personal projects in a way that they couldn't have otherwise, and the results were remarkable. And at the end of, or closer to the end of the summer, they said, I want to take this again. Can you offer this again? And so it just came up, but I will be teaching a PH 488 senior project class again in the fall. We just put it on the Open Reg. So this is really a group and one-on-one critique, delving into your creative vision and working on one long-term project for the semester. Many of you have, or some of you I see in the room have worked with me in the fine art project class. This is a little different. It's more open-ended. I had documentary students, commercial and fine art during the summer who all produced amazing, incredible projects. Typically the prereq for this is PH 355, but if you are still in the middle of the program, I see Jacob in the room. I saw Jacob in the room. He was in it with me. Just talk to me if you have an idea that you want to work on in a small group environment. If you have a series that you've been really wanting to explore, if you really need some time to continue delving into your portfolio work, you just feel like you haven't gotten to be able to do that yet, just let me know. Typically, you do need the prereq of PH 355, but like I said, Jacob is here to show that. If you have an idea, send me an email, apal@academyart.edu, or Candace, and just talk to me about it, and I can help you with the prereqs and the requirements for the class. So this is actually an online class. The reason being is I didn't want to set a time just yet. I want to see who enrolls in the class, and I wanted to see where everybody was in the world, and we come up with a time together to run the class weekly. So I didn't want to say, 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and then, have our students in Taiwan not be able to take it. So right now it's PH488 online, but know that if you sign up, there is going to still be the synchronous component of us meeting together weekly to have live discussions. We will just decide on that as a group during our first meeting. So definitely reach out and email me if you all want to work in that capacity in the fall, or if you already fit the prereqs, you can go ahead and enroll with your advisor. Just send me an email because I need to approve it. But I'd love to have you. It was a great, 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 super inspiring experience.
Adrian?
Okay, final thoughts. Yeah, register. Let us know what you need. Call your advisors. Let me know if I can help you. I'm already working with some of you on getting your classes sorted out for the fall. I'm always happy to do that. Wait until the first week of school before paying any equipment studio usage fees, as things may change. So we're doing things a little bit differently, is that the equipment and facilities fee will be an electable fee if you are going to be on site and want to be able to use the facilities or the equipment room. So it's going to be different. It's not like, it's usually called a course fee and it's attached to the course. That is not the case for fall. Let us know and we will help. We can facilitate that with you and your advisor. And a reminder, as Edwin stated and Candace stated, no walk-ins. Everything has to be monitored closely for everybody's safety. So use web checkout. Edwin and Jared have done an awesome job this summer updating, and it's so user-friendly. So use web checkout to reserve equipment as well as studio and print lab space 24 hours in advance, right, Edwin? Yeah. And contact the equipment room in advance if you need to access 625 Sutter for any other reason. Yeah. Is 488 available for grad students? Yes, actually. 488, Timothy just sent a note to me. Just to go back for a second, is 488 available for grad students? If you are an MFA student past your midpoint review, you do have the option to take that class. Yes.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And questions? All right, so feel free to, all right, so there's a bunch of questions coming up. And also we can turn off your mute if, we can unmute you or you can unmute yourself if there is a conversation better to be had. But Candace, do you want to moderate the Q&A?
Sure. First question is from Shane. Will the fees be added to tuition? Normally this is a fee that is covered for veterans.
So that is a question, Shane, because it is being added after you pay for your courses. I will have to check in on that, but that's a really good question. Let me just put that in my notes. We'd probably need to check in with the
In the VA office, yeah.
Yeah, so let's do that before we give you a for sure answer, just because I don't know, but thank you so much for bringing that up.
I can take on the next ones. Shazad, so obviously you're welcome to use. Now we have a brand new IQ4, which I know a lot of you will want to use. So to check out the camera, it's the same process as before. You just need to do a reservation, 24 hours minimum, but you can do up to 1 week in advance to make sure you have your reservation done. And then you reserve the camera, you reserve the studio, and then you can either track where the camera will be if you're gonna use it at Sutter or at Washington, and then just make your reservation and use it. The cameras will not leave the buildings. They're gonna be for everyone to be able to use them there. But yeah, we also have new cards available too. So that's very exciting. So a lot of new gear.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Then
Thank
it's another one.
Lacey says, I have location lighting this fall. I was wondering what gear would be available and what will not.
So Lacey, are you in the Bay Area? If you are able to check out the equipment from us at Sutter, you will have availability to check out everything that you want. If you want a B1 or if you want a B4 or a 7B, it all will be according to what will be available at the time that you go to the equipment room. But since everyone will be returning the equipment every 7 days, chances are that you always will have chance to have either a B1 kit or A1 or anything that you want to use. So yeah, you will find it. Then
All right.
Okay, for private studios, so Kelsey and Dora are both wondering about their private studios. So the answer is yes, you can use your private studios in the fall.
Yes.
Super awesome. The other thing is there is a new procedure to using your private studios. There will be a reservation process.
Yes.
Just as you would if you were to use one of the studios that's available to all students. So you will have to let us know when you are going to be in the building in your private studio. So it won't be as open, unlimited access, but that is part of keeping everybody safe during the times of the pandemic and knowing who has entered or exited the buildings. So yes, you will be able to use your private studios, but there will be a checkout procedure in place.
Mackenzie, will there be lockers available? If so, will we have to reserve a time to access them? Yes and yes. So the thing that we want to make clear is there's no reason that you will be allowed into the building without some sort of prior reservation. So we are working on a system to put in place, whether it be web checkout or something else, to where you notify us that you need to get into the building. If you just need to get into the building just for your locker, that you let us know in advance and we are able to accommodate that. And that will probably be through web checkout. But yes and yes.
Yes. And then
Next.
here on site, I mean,
We already did that.
in the Bay.
Shane, is there a new process for insurance enrollment and how soon are we able to begin the process?
So it's the same process that we have always done with the insurance enrollment, and you are able to start the process as soon as we get the go to send you the document with all the details. So we're just working on the final details in that. So as soon as I get the green light, we will be sending everyone this document with all the information for enrollment.
Yes, everything we've discussed today in terms of equipment and facilities, even the private studios, you will receive a document outlining everything that we discussed and all the rules and procedures and how you have to go about reserving your space. So that information will be coming. We just need to fine tune the final details and then we'll be good to go. Next, Nikki, how did fashion and beauty change for this semester?
Yes, so Nikki, we are working on that. Unfortunately, John Vano couldn't be in the meeting today. These questions are partially involving John, but he couldn't be here. So let me just give you a heads up, Nikki, that we are currently in the process of revising fashion and beauty. So it is awesome for fall. John has decided he did not want to teach fashion and beauty this time around. So we have something else in the works that we cannot reveal just yet. So I'm sorry. So I know that doesn't help a lot, but hang tight, and we will get back with you soon.
Another John question. How will the environmental portraiture class be conducted?
Yeah, so John, we can have, or Yana, we can have John contact you. Environmental portraiture will definitely be running in the fall. When we talked about the classes that could definitely be super awesome in this environment, we were like, environmental portraiture is totally doable and it can be fun and we can make it work. So more details from him coming soon on that. I don't want to speak for him because he's been developing the curriculum for that.
Mackenzie, I can kind of like answer a little bit your question regarding the modeling agencies. I know we have planned to continue the collaborations with the fashion department for the stylists. So that will keep going where you can work with them. The modeling agencies is a little bit more delicate because there are different modeling agencies that still haven't figured out how to let the models work with the students. But as long as you get your model, sign you a release to you that she's okay or he's okay working with you, then you will be able to bring it into the studio and photograph them.
Okay. Hayden, how will digital printing work for this fall? Michael, do you want to go over that again really quickly?
Sure. Basically, the labs will be open. So if you are on campus, you'll be able to do all of your assignments in the lab. If you're not going to be on campus, it would be a requirement of the course to purchase a printer. If neither of those options are possible, then it is advised to not take the class this semester.
All right. And Chris says, what equipment is needed for taking, I'm assuming that's GLA 625 and PH 635. So printing and business, is that what that
You
is?
mean history? History of
History?
photography?
Yeah.
GLA 625 is history of photography.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again, please?
Okay, so
For printing, Michael.
Yeah.
If you are not going to be using the labs, we have put together a list of printers that Candace has that we can send out from both or either Epson or Canon. Most of the printers are going to start about $500–600 and go up to about $1,200. If you're going to be working on campus, you won't need any equipment other than the equipment that you currently have because you'll be using the school's printers and spectrophotometers. But if you're going to be off campus, then yes, you will need to buy a printer. And then of course, regardless, you'll need to be able to buy paper for the semester. Paper typically costs throughout the entire semester. It'll be cut back a little bit. You'll probably need about 125 sheet. So probably in the neighborhood of about $150 in paper.
I think Chris was asking also about experimental photography with Connie Begg. So Chris, what we can do, Connie's been working on that. So we'll have Connie contact you. So let me just make sure. Could you send your email to Candace, Chris, or in the chat pod, whichever way you feel comfortable, and then we can have Connie reach out to you with her plans for experimental.
Yeah, I do know that she because the dark rooms are going to be available. If you're local, obviously you'll be able to use the dark rooms for your assignments. If you're not, she is really great about coming up with alternatives for the assignments, especially the ones that use UV lights, the sun, and stuff like that. She can come up with an alternative. So we can have Connie contact you, but that's the plan for now. I think that's it. Oh, Shane, for us in the final hours, could you elaborate on portfolios for graduation?
Oh, like for fall 2020? Yes. What are your specific questions about that, Shane? Actually, maybe we should have a conversation.
Yeah, well, I was just seeing if you could elaborate on it, just like what would be required, if there's any specific plan in regards to how we're going to tackle that.
Are you talking about to complete your final review and present your portfolio?
Yes.
Okay. So Adrian, correct me if I'm wrong, but nothing has really changed. The only thing that will be different is instead of presenting prints like you would if you were doing it in person, or shipping it in if you were online, you would be doing a video recording like we did for the spring show of you flipping through your portfolio. Other than that, I'm not aware of very many other changes. Adrian?
Portfolio will be pretty much the same. Michael runs the final reviews for the BFA program. So Michael, did you have any alterations to how you did that in the spring that you're thinking of changing or improving for the fall?
For the reviews, we're mainly looking at all digital. It's more up to the PH 495 instructors as to whether or not.
Yeah.
So that's Roger and Tim.
Yeah.
So they will present that additional information to you, Shane, in class. Cool. Okay, I don't have any more questions in the chat pod, so last chance, everyone. Do you have any
Oh,
questions?
there is one more from Shazad. Will there be in-person final reviews for those in the Bay Area for grad students? Nope.
No.
No. The unless something changes dramatically in San Francisco, basically we'll be running most things virtually. Now, some people have asked, are there any faculty who I can meet on site and have a physically distanced meetup or portfolio review or something like that? So there may be a person or so that is on campus on certain days that is willing to do physically distanced meetups on campus, but we won't be able to do any group type things. So there won't be any reviews, there won't be any live teaching, but one-on-one could be possible with certain instructors. And
Any other questions?
And Shane, I just want to say, I saw your note. Let's talk about that because I'll explain to you what you can do and I have a good solution for you.
Awesome. Sounds
I'll
good.
send you an email.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
So
there
if you're all available via email, all faculty, go ahead and throw your email into the chat pod. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, just feel free to reach out to us. And we will keep you in the loop in terms of any changes that are made for the fall semester. That will come from me.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Great to see your faces again.
So good to see you all. Oh my goodness.
Quick question. All of the information that we went over today will be sent to us in an email?
Yes, once we have fine-tuned those last details, we're going to send you that equipment room detailed document for what to do there. This actual presentation will be available by the end of today on the blog. So if you want to go back and review what we discussed today, you can just watch it via our YouTube clip on the blog. But yes, all the other details will be emailed to you shortly before the fall semester begins.
Awesome.
Yeah, and just let me know if you need help with enrollment. You know, I'm here to help you with your advisor as needed. And also always CC Candace, as you know, she and I go through all my emails just to make sure I get everything. So let me know how we can help. We are super excited to see you all again.
For sure.
We're gonna have a lot of wipes and a lot of disinfecting, sanitizing for you. So
Yeah.
I'll be hoping to see you all back.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey, do feel free to reach out. We are just here for you as we're trying to figure it out ourselves.
Yes.
Yes, adapt is the key word here. Adapt. We are adapting.
Adapt and create. Oh my goodness. There's been some amazing stuff this summer. We're looking forward to seeing what you all do in fall.
Oh, the productivity's been great, for
Yeah.
sure. No, absolutely.
All right, everybody. Have a great evening. Good to see you. Thank you for
y'all.
showing up. And keep the questions coming if there's anything more that you need help with. We're here.
Awesome sauce. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.